Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
With this Cernipro paint, you're going to love it. We do painting, you do life.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
All right, tomorrow morning, I don't know about the rest of you folks. I'll be up at 5 a.m. to see the preliminaries before the Miss Markle shows up at about 5:58, right after the Queen, and then the wedding, high noon. I can't wait. And fortunately, we have our own royal wedding correspondent, Mr. Will Morley. How you doing, sir?
How's it going, Royce? Good to speak to you live from Birmingham on my way down to London.
I thought I saw you standing behind the fence today when William and Harry were shaking hands there with the wedding fans.
No, I'm not quite that dedicated. That must have been the American influence camping out there for days.
So, were you around for the previous? Were you in England for the previous royal wedding, William and Kate?
2011, I believe.
I was in Australia then.
Okay.
But I was particularly keen on it, so we had a party to celebrate. So there's that kind of atmosphere in London at the moment.
But, Will, this one's bigger, isn't it? I mean, this one seems to have the paparazzi in an even crazier, they're just going nuts for this one because she's an American and she's actress. All of those things have made this bigger than ever, I would think.
Absolutely. Look, it's a sad time for the royal family, gentlemen. We've got an American infiltrating the royal family. It's hard. The hype has been unbelievable. But look, it's good to have you guys part of the royal family now. Get the Americans involved.
Yeah,
look,
well,
I think everyone's excited.
Maybe you'll take us over again here eventually. That could happen. Hey, Will, what?
One day we dream.
Are there some old timers there grousing about the fact that we're marrying out of the country here?
Oh, I'm sure there are. There are probably a few thinking back to the last time an American married into the royal family. It's come a long way since then, back in Edward VIII, back in 1936.
Yes.
We keep screwing it up. We keep screwing it up every once in a while, don't we?
Well, I think Meghan's going to do good, but you like to throw a curveball in every now and then. But I think Meghan's going to do well.
All right. Now, the big news today is, now the rumor 2 days ago, after Dad got benched as far as walking her up the aisle, we were going to have Mom do it. But now the big news today is Prince Charles is going to do that. Do you think the groom-to-be put a little pressure on Meghan, or do you think it was her decision?
Yeah, I'm sure he put a bit of pressure in there. Keep a little bit of tradition. I think a lot of people thought it would be nice to have Meghan's mother walking all the way down the aisle, but they like to keep that bit of tradition at the end there. I think the other piece of news that I've seen come out is that Meghan's dress might contain some of the material that Diana's dress was made with. So, chaps, there's something to look out for there. It could be an absolute banger of an evening.
Yes. Hey, Will, they did find out, in fact, only within the last half a day that who the designer of the dress is, and it wasn't the betting favorite.
Oh, was it not?
No, the dress is being designed. I got it.
Coco Chanel.
No.
What do we got?
No.
We're going out of my area of expertise, gentlemen.
Levi's. No?
Levi's.
Let me ask, while Patrick is looking for doing his research there, let me just ask you, I'm going to tell you who the most relieved man in the entire kingdom is, and his name is Donald Jackson. Do you know who Donald Jackson is?
Who's he?
He is the scribe to the Queen. So he has to do all the invitations. He's got to do all the invites.
Why
He's got to do
relieved?
Well, because he's all done.
Oh, I suppose because it's behind him now at this point. But no, you know what you're forgetting?
What?
thank you cards.
Oh, he's got to do the
He's
thank
gotta
you
do
card.
thank you cards.
Will, he's a
He's out
person.
of business now, though.
He's a personal friend of my mother because my mother's a calligrapher. And
You're a connected man.
I'm well connected, and I can't wait. When I go over to see you over in England, I am going to stop by and see Donald and Mabel, and just to say greetings and offer them an offering of gherkins of some sort.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's going to be hard for Meghan is to pronounce gherkin. She's probably used to calling it pickle, but she's got to start with the gherkin, otherwise the Queen's not going to know what she's saying.
I know. And you don't want to confuse the Queen on one of those first, Memorial Day picnics.
Especially once she gets pregnant, she's going to have to be able to ask for the gherkins and not the pickle.
I'd like some gherkin and chocolate chip ice cream, please.
Yeah,
Hey.
you've nailed it, from Birmingham.
Well, I'm giving you news here. Stella is the designer. A lot of people thought that she would go with a more traditional designer, but she's going with Stella, who is apparently a personal friend of her and well respected. And but they say she designs very straight and fitted dresses. Even though we don't expect cleavage, we're going to have a very well fitted dress on Meghan Markle, and all of us who are Meghan Markle fans are looking forward to that.
You're going to be waking up early, are you then, Rosie?
I wouldn't miss it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
My wife, this is the greatest event of my wife's golden years, I'll tell you that.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Before we proceed, Patrick, let me interject because I was just FYI'd. Stella, and Will, this is probably news to you as well. Stella McCartney is the daughter of Paul McCartney, so she is the designer. So there's a family
reaching out to the Beatles.
Yes.
I didn't know I'd learned so much about fashion on this show. This is amazing.
See, Americans bringing you more information, and you live there amongst them.
I know. What's happening to the world?
Hey, Will, on the telly in Britain, are Suits reruns like tearing it up in the ratings there now? Is that what everybody's
Yeah.
watching?
Exactly. Suits just over and over and over again. It's good. It's good. Everyone is going absolutely Meghan and Harry mad here, and I think with the added element of having an American involved, it's just gone absolutely through the roof.
And, of course, all the young women want to have the Markle Sparkle for their teeth. Have you, as a lifelong Englishman, are you offended by all the teeth jokes that Englishmen have to put up with?
Yeah, I think it's incredibly rude. Anyway, it's not all about the teeth, Rosie. It's all about the accent.
Yeah, but they're spot on with. I mean, do you guys even have dentists over there? Or do you just what? I mean.
Yeah, we have dentists. It's all about having a bit of character, a bit of originality in your teeth.
Yes, of course.
It is something different.
And as you age, your voice gets scratchier and you have more buck teeth. Yes. I'm quite excited.
You can store more food in between them.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, Will, you're now heading to London with meeting some pals, meeting some friends. What happens tonight on the eve of the royal wedding? Will London be crazy? Parties all over?
The eve of London will be absolutely mad. Everyone will probably be queuing for hours, waiting for a train to get to Windsor to go and watch the wedding. But they'll be waiting. They'll be excited. They'll be on a few beers when we get down to London. It's going to a few pints. It's going to be great. I think it's a great atmosphere tomorrow. Everyone will be out in full force, and for once, in the UK weather is looking good. It's going to be sunny. Definitely get watching it. Make sure you're up bright and early.
Could you imagine being a part of Harry's bachelor party?
Do we have any word of that? Will, have you heard of that? Has there been any leaking where it was? What happened?
He has a propensity to go to Vegas, I think. Pool parties in Vegas.
Yes.
I think that's where he's been.
Yeah, he's really got the good job because he's sixth in line. He'll never have to be king. He can do dang near anything he wants to.
Yeah, he's done well for himself, and he's certainly had a few party days. So I'm sure with him and his brother Will, they had a great bachelor party.
Now, where are you headed? Where are you headed? What area of London will you be hanging out in tonight?
So I'll be hanging out. I'm driving to Putney, which is in London, down by the river, and then tomorrow we'll be heading out to Windsor, to the Great Park, to Windsor Castle. to go and watch the wedding.
You're going to be in the mob. You're going to watch the wedding.
Yeah, I'm going to go along and have a look. Why not get involved? These things don't happen very much.
You're not even having a laugh, are you?
No, he's going to be there.
No, I'm not. Deadly serious.
Well, that's good.
Has the Queen, the perception of the Queen, the youth, the people that love Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and Prince William, do you get a sense that they want the Queen not to, I don't want to say anything foolish, but to just maybe retire and let this youth movement proceed? Are they getting tired of the Queen?
I think at the moment everyone loves the Queen. It's who's coming next, whether it's Charles or Will. I think everyone's more than happy for the Queen to continue and continue as is. Really, she's an amazing icon. And then as to where it goes next is where it's quite touchy at the moment. Whether it goes to Charles or whether it goes to Will, no one's quite sure. But in the scheme of things, it should go to Charles.
Will Morley's with us. One very important question: is there a royal wedding in your future here? Is there a girlfriend yet?
Royce, I wish there's a royal wedding. Hopefully in the months to come there will be a royal wedding. Just watch this space.
Well, we can't wait for the invite for you and Mrs. Morley. I'm quite excited for that.
It's going to be up in Birmingham with the Peaky Blinders. It's going to be great.
I will cut my hair out like a Peaky Blinder just so I may attend.
Hey, is the Peaky Blinders pub still around or not?
Yeah, definitely. Peaky Blinders are huge over here. I think they are in the States, but absolutely massive TV program. Peaky Blinders pub. You go up to Birmingham, have a few gherkins in your burger, and that's great.
One more question for you. What did you do in Australia? What was your favorite part of Australia?
My favorite part of Australia, the women. Australia, awesome place, just so far away from everything. Loved it.
Will, the only time I was there was for 3 weeks for the Olympics, and they are more irreverent, satirical people than we are, those Aussies. They have an edge to them. They are hilarious.
They've got a great sense of humour. Although I have to say, you Americans sometimes get a bit confused between an Australian and an English accent. I had that many a time. Everyone says, "You from Australia?" No.
Well, now you're.
Well, once the Australians took over Germany, that's what made everybody mad, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Will, you're going to come and visit us just briefly for a couple of days this summer, huh?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Definitely going to come up for a day and see you guys. Come and show my face.
All right. Well,
I think the main thing I need to do is tell Rookie how to eat. I saw the picture of him eating off the stairs. He's eating his bolognese.
That made it all the way over there?
How to eat. The silver service. Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
Escape me, Rookie.
All right. Love you like a brother, but the brother that I love the least.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Will.
you, Will. Thanks for the... I can't believe he's going to go sit in the stand in the mob.
He's going to be right amongst them, aren't you?
There's going to be 500,000 people there.
That's fantastic.
It
Quite
is.
exciting.
It is.
Quite exciting.
How old is he now? He's about 20.
Maybe in his mid-20s, yeah. Mid-20s.
Late 20s, because that one was he here?
No,
5 years ago?
He's late.
No, it wasn't that long ago.
No?
No?
I think he was only 21 or 2 when he was here.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's fine for me, but that kid just lives a life of fun.
There's no Mrs. Morley in the offing yet, because my wife, when she met him, wanted to line him up with everyone she'd ever met.
Well, my guess is, based upon knowing the young man, he's doing all right.
He's not in a hurry. He's not in a hurry.
And he's not in a hurry.
Well, he'll be standing there watching the wedding. That's good. So, yeah, it's kind of sad that the Royals said, no, Meghan, Mom's not walking up the aisle. You're going up with the prince. So.
We'll bring out Dumbo.
Yes, all right.
Yes.
We'll be back.
Ian.
We have never worked a day together on the air, Matthew Mikulski, where you have not embarrassed me. So,
Really?
way to keep a perfect record.
Did I?
Manny and I are sitting in the office just holding our heads in our hands.
Really?
Yes, really.
That means you like
Which
me?
part?
Wait, is he ripping me or is he giving me a compliment? I'm
No,
not
he's
sure which.
ripping you.
Oh, dang it.
It was. I thought Rook was pretty restrained today with his Will Morley imitation.
I tried to hold back.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Patrick, I was telling the fellas off the air, there's no way you can convince me that Prince Harry's life is better than Will Morley's. If I was going to trade places with one person on the planet, it would be Will.
And I get to be your wingman then.
Because if you go to Vegas and make a complete fool out of yourself, nobody's going to bother you.
And I can afford the damages. Yep. And what a great guy he is.
Oh, God, he's a good kid.
It's such a pleasure meeting and knowing that guy. So awesome.
I think he's only going to be stopping over here for a day. Who God knows where he's going. He's
got a plan.
He's still exploring the world. So that's a
as
good
he
deal.
should.
The world traveler.
Gophers, Big Ten regular season champions. They beat
about
Rutgers
that?
today in baseball, so they win the Big Ten title. Second one in 3 years. I think the 10th of Coach Anderson's career, if I'm not mistaken. So good for them. 5-3. They got a good team. They'll be the number one seed in the Big Ten tournament next week, and I'm not sure where it is, but it's not here. I know that. They had it. Last time they had it here, there was nobody. The Gophers didn't make it. There was nobody at the game. They had it at Target Field, and it was about 14 degrees, and they had 28 people at the game, so I don't think we'll be getting it. But anyway, Gophers win the Big Ten title.
Omaha.
Right.
She's in Omaha this year.
Hey, your MnDOT guys, Kenny. Brewers in town.
Yeah.
Western Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of drunken Brewer fans sleeping in Loring Park this weekend.
Yeah, and
She closed 94 East, right?
But they can get into town. That's
the trouble.
They might. There might be some lane changes or lane closures along the way in the East Metro, but the big problem is the downtown Minneapolis situation.
Yes. And now I saw they're supposed to close the freeway at 10, right?
Yeah.
I saw today, I came in on 394, that they're closing the ramp at 9.
Yes, they always do that in preparation.
They got to get an extra hour in there to keep you from going.
So walk us through, Kenny, here, because it's a little confusing. 35 north to...
Can you hear this whispering on the air?
94 east. That's going to be closed.
That's the big 3-year one. Northbound 35W, that long flyover ramp that takes you onto westbound 94, right where the Curtis used to be down there, Matt. Closing tonight and staying closed for 3 years.
Okay.
3 years.
This one.
Yeah, the flyover.
Well, what am I doing? What am I doing to go that way?
Thankfully, you should seldom...
Not me, but I mean if I'm
The
coming
general
in that
public.
way.
Highway 62, northbound 100, inbound 394.
That's a long detour, isn't it?
Why are we mad at that ramp
Well,
there?
they have to do something.
That ramp needs to come
they
down.
have to update
that. Thing's
that.
a piece of crap, and it's too narrow, and it's just wrong. So that's going to go. And then for the weekend, both directions of 94 are closed between 394 and 35W, so that's not an option this weekend. And just to throw a little extra confusion in the mix, they're also closing Hennepin-Lyndale between Oak Grove and Dunwoody, basically as it runs along.
Why?
Loring
I saw
Park.
that. Why are they doing that?
The Irene Hickston Whitney Bridge, that pedestrian bridge.
We're not taking that down.
No, but they've been rebuilding it.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, yeah. So walk basically is your best advice. All right. We'll be back. We got Brucey boy?
We do. We have Bruce's final report, and that's the Your Money Now report. It comes to us courtesy of Owatonna's own Federated Insurance, and is Mr. Bruce Vail all set to go?
Well, I am indeed. Stocks were mostly lower at the close of trading today. The three major indexes each had losses for the full week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average did gain 1 point today, closing at 24,715, but the Nasdaq Composite fell 28 points, and the S&P 500 lost 7. Mortgage rates this week jumped to their highest level since 2011, signaling a shift to a higher rate environment and possibly hurting first-time buyers. Mortgage finance giant Freddie Mac said the average rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage rose to 4.61% this week from 4.55% a week ago. There is new hope for the estimated 37 million people in the country who suffer from migraine headaches. The FDA has approved an application from Amgen and Novartis for Aimovig, an injectable drug touted as the first treatment designed specifically to prevent migraines. It is expected to be available to patients within a week, and 3 other similar treatments are expected to hit the market within the next year. I'm Bruce Vail with Your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
Okay, sir, we thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday. Checking traffic here. We're going to go over to northbound 100. This report sponsored by Concordia University, and you'll find northbound 100. Hold on, let me call the map up. It's jamming right around 50th before Excelsior Boulevard. It's due to a crash that's blocking the left lane just north of Minnetonka Boulevard. So it's a 15-minute drive northbound 100 to 494 to 394. Eastbound 694, the other ugly one, off the rails, 169 over to University. You'll find wrecks along the way at Xerxes and East River Road. Get on track to a successful business career with Concordia University. All right, we picked up a crash that's worth a mention here before we get back to the big show. It's eastbound 494. It's blocking the collector-distributor lanes of eastbound 494 to 169. Nobody getting through there. So eastbound 494 quickly backing and stacking in Eden Prairie. Once you clear that, those speeds do pick up for a little while until you back it down all over again at France. Close.
Oh, that was pretty good. That was very nice.
Close.
Could have been worse.
You only listened to the song 4 times before you started. You did.
Johnny Height with a news and sports update.
Thank you, Patrick. Sunny and 83 degrees. Twins and Brewers tonight at Target Field. Kyle Gibson for the Twins. Brent Suter pitches for the Brewers. A couple Gopher notes. The softball team opens up NCAA tournament action tonight, playing Texas in Seattle. And this afternoon, the Gophers baseball team beat Rutgers 5-3 to claim their 24th Big Ten championship.
And at 5:03, John Anderson will join us to talk about his latest collection of Big Ten regular season champs.
Pat, the tournament's going to be held in Omaha, and I'm pulling up their ballpark. This is what minor league affiliate would it be? Because this can't be for the school stadium.
Well, they got the College World Series there.
That's right.
World Series ballpark.
It's
TD,
really
whatever.
TD Ameritrade Park or whatever. This is really cool.
Yeah, it's the College World Series park.
News notes from today. The suspected shooter arrested after the shootings that killed 10 people at Santa Fe High School in Texas this morning is 17-year-old Dimitris Porgacis, according to the Galveston County Sheriff's Office. A second person of interest was also detained. Porgacis, as a junior, shared photographs on a now-defunct Facebook page of a T-shirt that said "Born to Kill" and clothing adorned with German nationalist things. He played on the defensive line for the school football team during his freshman year. Although his Facebook page cites a connection to the U.S. Marine Corps, a USMC spokesperson said he's not affiliated in any way with the Marines. A woman who answered the phone at his house said, "Give us our time right now, thank you." 9 students killed in the shootings, 1 teacher, 10 people were injured. A resource officer was also injured in the shooting. We found out in the past hour he was shot in the elbow and still is in surgery to get that.
We know what weapon he was wielding. Or
he had a shotgun and a .38 handgun.
Oh, so he had a handgun.
Early reports said there was an automatic style rifle, but later reports do not mention that. Just the .38 and the shotgun. And
what about the explosives? There were some allegedly planted.
Yes, they were all over. They were around the school. They were around a residence of his that they went to, and also in the automobile that he was driving. And they have found all those, although they're still saying proceed with caution to make sure there's none somewhere else in the city. Mm-hmm. And they have taken care of all of those. So we'll see. All right. Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension reports that 2-year-old from South Carolina who was missing has been found and is now in protective custody. Authorities say Dakota Ray was located in Iowa late last night. She is safe. Her parents, Jessica and William Ray, were arrested on unrelated charges. Authorities were concerned about the child's welfare. Reported her parents were believed to be heavy methamphetamine users. She was taken by her parents in Camden, South Carolina, April 15th. Law enforcement said the trio was captured on a surveillance camera in Iowa on Monday, and they stopped at a gas station here in Marshall, Minnesota. The Sports Facilities Authority Board today unanimously approved interim director Jim Farstad as the permanent executive director to oversee U.S. Bank Stadium. The previous executive director, Rick Evans, announced he was stepping down for health reasons last November after only 9 months on the job. Farstad has served as the chief technology advisor to the MSFA, but has been serving in the interim role since Evans stepped down. Farstad will be paid an annual salary of $165,333.
What was that? How much?
$165,333.
Okay. If you can keep the panels from falling on people's heads, I guess it would be worth it.
Authorities are trying to figure out how a box of ammunition fell from a military helicopter and crashed through the roof of an elementary school in Texas.
What kind of rounds?
Luckily, nobody was injured when the ammo box hit Parkland Elementary School in El Paso. The incident happened around 3:45 in the afternoon. The ammo box left a hole in the roof, caused a power outage in the building.
What kind of ammo?
I don't have that, Kenny. I ignored it the first time. What'd you think?
Military ammo.
Yeah.
Big
bullets.
Big bullets.
honkers.
Box-
The kind that gets people.
Box of
Idiots.
ammunition.
That's what we're dealing with here. Idiots.
I think it was gold or yellow.
It is.
Oh, they were all yellow, same color. They're all the same color.
What was the
By
movie?
chance, do
what
you
was
mean
the-
brass?
brass?
What was
There
the
we go.
movie when the woman comes flying into the boy's bedroom and he said, "Thank
Animal
you,
House.
God."
Thanks,
Animal
God.
House. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
thanks,
right.
God. How'd she get flying? How'd she end up flying?
She
into
was
the-
in the house next door, I think, in the sorority or frat house, and then somehow she flew out. I don't know if it was a ladder or what, and then right through the window into his. I think he was looking through a girly mag, wasn't he? Or
I think he was. huh?
God, yes.
Just based upon the looks I see the traffic man giving the producer every day, I think the Rookie and Kenny show would result in Rookie being choked to death live on the air.
We'd have to be in two separate studios.
short run, yeah, a real short run.
Kenny and Rook are buddies compared to Kenny and Bernsey. They were in here at 6 a.m. They were both grumpy and
Nobody scared me like John scared me. Oh my goodness! One time I made the mistake of I was on the air and I snapped my fingers at him to get his attention. Let me tell you,
how'd that go over?
that was the wrong thing to do.
It's like whistling at a waitress. It's not going to happen.
That was, in retrospect, I wish I wouldn't have never done that.
Bernsey had that face that he would make in a situation like that just scared
Well,
the living hell out of me.
he had some advice for me when I got off the air.
Yes, he did.
And I heeded that advice.
PayPal just clinched
When he gives you the right look, you're just kind of. He looks back. He doesn't say much, but the talking heads come to mind. And Psycho Killer here is what.
Bernsey was a very bright guy, but expressing his thoughts wasn't his number one asset because as he will admit, in his youth there were some supplements involved.
But he was always. I always knew him when he was sober. So
Yeah. Oh, I did too.
I never met the
I
other
never knew him
Bernsey.
when he was the other Bernsey. I met the other me, and I didn't like him that well.
Bernsey was great. My kid was, I don't know, probably 10 or so.
Yeah.
And I'd come in. Bernsey would play games with him. Mm-hmm. And I'd be just
Like
happy.
head games, like,
No.
what's your next move, punk? Like that?
No.
You know, are you going to grab it or
He'd
go?
play video games with him, and they'd have a ball.
You going to hit that button, or am I going to have to punch you in the face?
We're making him sound awful.
He's not. I loved him.
He's not. He's a big
He's
teddy
very
bear.
gentle.
Big teddy bear. I got along great with him. Yeah.
But the most frustrating
Let's
part is when you
face
go,
it, though, if he was an actor, he would rarely play the good guy.
You're correct. You're correct.
Typecast.
Yes.
A Maryland woman who won a $32,655 lottery jackpot, her third big win, said her winning numbers.
Why do you tell us this stories? They just agitate
it only
us.
encourages me to buy one lottery ticket.
said her winning numbers came to her in a dream.
Oh, right.
The Owings Mills, Maryland woman told Maryland lottery officials her lotto luck began when she dreamed about being in a train station and asking for directions to a street.
Johnny, I got to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Kenny,
Yeah.
this woman has dreams with winning lottery numbers. You have dreams with Al Sickerman.
Yeah.
That's, you got no shot.
I'm
man.
dreaming the wrong things.
Yes.
I had a dream the other night that an Alexandria, Douglas County deputy, a lady pulled me over and told me just to shut the hell up. That's all she wanted. Just shut up. Just shut up.
That's our second second related winning story today. Rook, what was the one that we heard earlier today?
Rick from Harlingen called earlier, and he had a joke, a Preakness joke. He said a woman who won $175,000 betting on the Kentucky Derby was mugged, beaten, and robbed of most of the money in the parking lot after the race. Now, the woman, I don't know what state she lives in, but she has received cards and greetings from all over, mostly asking if she's feeling better, if police have any suspects, and who does she like in the Preakness. So there's that.
Hope you're feeling better, too.
Say, by the way,
The woman, if you're wondering, I told you it was her third big win. This was a little over $32,000.
Oh, okay.
In November 2017. Excuse me. In November 2017, she won a little over $41,000, and in February of this year, she won a little over $125,000.
Man,
so 3 different.
Well, she's got a job now. She just can play the lottery.
$200,000.
Mel Jazz would
roll
say,
it over.
Mel Jazz would say,
He's got a good job. What's your husband do? Well, he shovels horse manure. Oh, he's got a good job. We'll be back.
In the state of Virginia, a man was reported missing, then found hours later on the side of the road. Told police he was kidnapped, drugged, held against his will by members of a motorcycle gang. The FBI says he fabricated that story.
Yeah, I would have known that immediately.
That doesn't sound.
Said he fabricated.
and then they gave me candy, and then no, stop lying.
I once knew a person whose excuse was that they made her use crack cocaine. So
Right.
yeah,
Because that stuff grows on trees.
yeah.
3 times a week. I went back Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
So anyway,
Get to the punchline now. The FBI says he fabricated the story and several others so he could disappear from his wife and start a new life with his mistress.
Attaboy.
okay.
Larry Wayne Price Jr. arrested last week, charged with lying to federal authorities. Prosecutors said after Price's wife reported him missing April 14th, police in his hometown of Bluefield, Virginia.
Oh yeah, Bluefield, Virginia.
And the county sheriff's office launched a massive search that included the use of state police helicopters and dogs. The 38-year-old Price was located that night by a driver who noticed him on the side.
And the
of
mistress
road.
said, "Honey, are you sure this was a good idea? You think maybe we should have just said we're leaving?"
Jeez.
Speaking of criminal masterminds, a South Florida man accused of leaving multiple voicemails saying he'd blow up a mosque days before Ramadan. The way officials found him, they checked caller ID. 26-year-old
Block himself?
Nope. 26-year-old Dustin Hughes alleged to have called the Jamaat ul Matakin Mosque in Pembroke Pines, Florida, 4 times in the week. He claimed he had planted a bomb in the mosque. And
I wonder if he's related to the guy that showed up at the school in Texas with the red hat on and the gun.
Oh, God.
They seem like they're brothers.
His message said, "I planted a bomb in your temple. I'm going to blow your bleeping temple up, you bleeping piece of bleep." That was the first voicemail. Police in Pembroke Pines, roughly 23 miles north of Miami, responded to the mosque, confirmed there were no explosives planted. During their investigation, officers noticed the digital caller ID listed the man's name as Dustin Hughes, according to the federal complaint.
Big D.
What did he tell him when the cops showed up?
He actually said he was happy that the FBI told him he scared people at the mosque. He clapped and said, "I'm happy. That's what I wanted to do."
Why?
But, yeah, I don't know.
Now
Because
he's in jail, right?
Exactly. Authorities have charged him with
Where his rage will only increase tenfold.
charged with willfully making a bomb threat by telephone. If convicted, maximum 10 years in prison, according to the Department of Justice.
Yeah, he needs to sit in the full 10, too. We don't need him out.
3 burglary suspects arrested when a missing prosthetic arm was found in their car. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office reports investigators were
Whose
looking.
arm is this?
Can I
and
lend
they're
you a
looking
hand?
around, and the one guy's going like this. I don't know, not mine. He's doing like that with one arm.
Nevada County Sheriff's Office reports investigators were searching for the suspects responsible for a burglary that took place last week on Newton Road. During that burglary, the prosthetic arm was taken. An officer with the Grass Valley Police Department came across the suspects and upon a search of their car, found an arm. Nobody in the car needed the arm. Michael Martin, Emma St. Clair, and Mike Mulligan were all arrested on suspicion of burglary and possession of stolen property after a search warrant found things that had been stolen. The arm is back with its owner.
What a relief.
How can this happen? A Fort Myers store clerk was making sure you wouldn't win at lottery scratch-off. She was selling pre-scratched lotto tickets, keeping the winners and selling the losers.
What does she do? Scratch off the code and scan it?
No, she was scratching off the actual numbers.
So, why would...
Go ahead. That's my question also.
Why would people buy us pre-scratched?
I have no idea.
Because they're just drones and they're just scratched. They don't even realize it's already scratched off yet.
I want to know why she thought this would work.
This was at the Circle K on Metro Parkway.
Oh, no.
I know what her mode of operation was. She would hand them the ticket, and they would, just before they put the quarter on there, she'd go, "Oh, that's not a winner," and snatch it back. How do you know? Well, look at you, scratched it off already.
The scratches that she put on were big enough so that the numbers could be seen,
right?
Although smaller than you do normally. So the numbers could be seen. Investigators said they reviewed the store's surveillance cameras that showed the woman scratching the tickets, pocketing the winners, and putting losers back in a pile to be sold. 83 of them were sold before somebody discovered what was going on. With scratch-offs that sell up to $20 each, customers said with Klinkler, their chances of winning was zero. She was arrested for tampering with lotto tickets.
What's her name?
Her name is Klinkler, first name Wendy.
Wendy Klinkler. Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sitcom character. So wouldn't this be a good investment, Patrick? It's kind of akin to boxing the field when you go to a track, right?
Yeah.
Why not just walk in there when they've put a fresh roll of scratch-offs in and buy the whole
because
roll?
they're going to make a profit, right? I mean,
but there's bound to be enough winners in there to pay you back, right?
No.
Come on.
Not completely,
no.
you think?
You don't think so? Some of those $10 tickets pay over $100,000.
Yeah, but they're putting 500 of them there with the idea that they're going to make at least twice as much money as they're going to pay out, you know?
I think you're trying to shut me down because you're going to go do it yourself.
Never bought a lottery ticket.
What? Really?
I mean, I've never bought a scratch-off. Never bought a scratch-off. I bought a lottery ticket.
That's one of the great
Only when it gets to
life.
100 million, though. What good would 50 million do a guy?
Do you know how?
Wait till 100.
Royce,
Exactly.
do you have any idea how much optimism you can buy for $10? You buy that $10 scratch-off ticket, there's a chance at $100K. You are on cloud 9 until you scratch it off.
For the next 4 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, you're really riding a wave because this is going to be awesome.
Between my wife and I would say we probably bought in the last 10 years $100 worth of lottery tickets. Never checked one of them to see if we won the World.
He's the guy that it's in the
Throw
bottom
it
of his
away.
garbage
We've
can.
got 2 more days before it expires.
Oh, no.
Never checked.
Why don't you just
I
buy them?
figure they'll come and knock on the door.
No, they're not going to knock on. They're going to keep their money.
won.
No, they're going to keep their money.
Why don't you give them to us? We'll check them for you when you buy them.
And we'll use the honor system, right?
Yeah,
Of course.
Exactly.
You had a $4 winner, and it was actually $100 million.
How come Reavers just moved to Mexico?
Yeah, has anybody talked to Chris lately? Weird story from Nebraska. 6 young squirrels whose tails were stuck together by tree sap are recovering after a wildlife expert untangled them.
Tree sap?
Nebraska Humane Society worker rescued the squirrels from a pine tree in Omaha last week. The sap-covered tails became knotted as the young squirrels wrestled in their nest.
You sure they weren't just waking up after a night of partying?
Resident Craig Lukeman.
Things got weird last night, man.
No, but these are babies. Come on.
Yeah, they were only 8 weeks old.
Oh, gross, John.
Resident
Why would you bring that up?
Resident Craig Lutman spotted the rodent's predicament, describing it as kind of like a tug of war going in 6 different directions. The squirrels were given a mild painkiller before removing the sticky fur and untangling them. She says some of them suffered injuries to their tails, but they all should be back to normal within a few weeks.
Boy, there's nothing that brings music to my ears quicker than mild painkiller. Now Kenny's happy.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.